Hey folks, today I'm going to be talking about the CAGED system again, and I am responding to a comment that was made on my last um, CAGED explanation about an E-shaped, and Dylan was asking me if you can do using the CAGED system in D minor for a D minor chord, and the answer is yes. Of course, when you're approaching minor chords, the CAGED system was mainly designed for major chords. So you have 5 chords in the CAGED system, right? C, A, G, D, E, right? So CAGED is kind of that CAGED system. They're all major chords. So you're dealing with 5 major chords. But can you use this approach in minor? Definitely. And today we're going to break that down. So let's get to it. So today we're going to take the key of D minor, or the chord of D minor at least, and talk about the CAGED system. Now again, the CAGED system was basically designed to revolve around major chords, but you can apply this to minor. Of course, when you're in a progression of a song, usually it's if it's in a major key, it's going to be a 1, 4, 6, 5, or maybe a 1, 6, 4, 5. But there's going to be a 6th chord involved, so that's a minor chord. So what we're going to go through today is exactly what you can use over any minor chord. And today, again, we're going to use the D minor. So Dylan was asking, can you use this approach from major to minor? Yes, in a sense you can. So say you have, starting with our C chord, so there's our C major chord, right? But of course we want to make it minor. So the only difference between minor and major is the third. So every triad has a root, third, and fifth. And it's the third that determines whether the chord is major or minor. So now C major, you have a major third, but to make it minor, you have to create a minor third. So from an E natural to an E flat. So that creates your minor third. So that's your C minor. Now to make this into a D minor, all you have to do is move it up to the 5th fret. So that's your C major created to a C minor, and then of course Dylan wanted us to know about D minor, so you have to move that up to the 5th fret, and now you're in D minor. And Dylan was also mentioning that if he knew all his 5 pentatonics, would this work? Yes. So maybe I will just quickly run through the 5 pentatonic shapes in D minor, and I'll explain how you can sort of use these. So shape 1, for me, shape 1 is your kind of universal home base shape, and this is the one that everybody knows. So if you start on 10th fret, you have your shape 1. Okay, shape 2, it starts on, for D minor, it's going to start on the 13th fret. Shape 3, I'm going to go down to the 3rd fret. Shape 4, now you're going to be on the 5th fret. And then shape 5, you're going to start on the 8th fret. Okay, so those are the 5 pentatonic shapes in D minor. Now again, back to the chords. So we just established a C minor. Now it's not going to work quite as efficiently as the full major chord shapes, but you can utilize some of these minor chord shapes because you're going to come across a minor chord anyway in your progression. So you definitely have to have this tool in your toolkit. So we have a D minor chord on the 5th fret, and again, this is a movable bar chord, so wherever you are, okay. And then for the CAGED system, we have a D major chord, which is, with a major third, and that's your F sharp. And to make it minor, you just drop that F sharp to F natural, and you have D minor, right? So that there is your minor chord, D minor. And you can also use your 3rd finger to play the 4th string on the 3rd fret, which is an F natural as well, if you want to do that. Now, if you move that up to the 13th fret, you would have that same shape, and then you'd also be in shape 2 of your pentatonic shapes, in that. So you could kind of use that pentatonic shape around that D minor. Now, when you're on this C minor bar chord, which is formed from our C major to our C minor, moving it up to the 5th fret, then you got D minor, you can kind of utilize shape 3, and then also you can utilize shape 4. And you can use those too, right? Shape 3, shape 4. So you can use those around this one, and I'm going to get into a little bit of that. And then, of course, we have E major, or E, we're going to switch it to E minor. So we're just dropping that G sharp down. So D major there would be up on the 11th and 12th fret kind of thing, right? You know, with that E shape, but of course we're using a D minor with the F natural. And when we're playing a G major, we're going to actually have to make it a bar chord. And so those two are actually going to be combined together on the 10th fret. And that's in your home base of your shape 1. And you got D minor barring the 10th fret. So I'm going to do a little demonstration of kind of how to use each one of these shapes. And so here's your D minor bar chord. So that's using that one there, right? And then you have this home base one here. And this one here, you're using your D minor shape that we did down here, right? So, and this is kind of in shape 2, combining shape 1. So, I hope that helps. And there's your D minor incorporating the CAGED system. So there you go, folks. There is a little bit of the CAGED system revolving around a D minor chord. And whenever I'm going over a D minor chord or over any minor chord in a progression, I just basically revolve around my minor pentatonics, and then of course using a couple of these chord shapes that I just demonstrated to bring about some chords, some triads, and then of course your pentatonic scales to incorporate both to make it very musical and enjoyable to the listener. So I hope that helps. Please like and subscribe to this channel, as I will be making more videos for your entertainment, enjoyment, and education. Cheers.